episode 5, live from 88, Guitar Topics with Nathan, guitar topics for everyone. And today we're going to talk about one of my favorite topics when I was a teenager, the harmonized guitar solo. I remember the first time I heard a harmonized guitar solo, I was in a guitar lesson when I was about 13, and my teacher said, "Nathan, you know there's two guitars playing there, right?" Well, the truth is at that time I didn't know, but I know now. And I read an article in Guitar Player magazine when I was about 15 that talked about this very topic, about how to write a harmonized guitar solo with no musical theory knowledge. And so today we're gonna do a quick demonstration about how to write a harmonized guitar solo with no music theory knowledge, or very little at least. So I've got a couple tools here. I've got my guitar. You need a guitar to do this. I've got my phone, and this is kind of a cool trick. We're just going to use the camera app on my phone. I don't care what it records for video. We're just going to use it to record an audio, kind of like an old school tape recorder. And that's it. And I've also got a couple of melodies prepared for you that one everybody will know, and one that I made up just for fun. So the first one we're going to start with is Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. So I'm going to turn the camera on. I'm going to set it down, and I'm going to hit record, and then I'm going to play the basic Twinkle Twinkle Little Star melody. One, two, ready, play. And to harmonize that, there's a really slick trick we're going to do. We are going to move the exact same finger pattern up or down the guitar about 3 frets. And then we're going to listen to it as we play that pattern over the top of the original recording, and we're going to listen for notes that sound a little bit funny. So I'm going to start by moving up the neck. So I'm on the 5th fret, and I'm going to move up 4 frets in this case. I'm playing an E major, so I'm going to start on a G sharp. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to play the exact same finger pattern, and I'm going to listen for notes that sound a little funny. 1, 2, ready, play. It didn't sound too bad, but there's a few notes that sound a little bit funny. To me, this note here up on the 13th fret sounds funny when I play it, and also this note on the 11th fret sounds a little bit funny. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move each of those notes down a half step. I'm going to move down 1 fret and try again with my slightly altered fingering pattern. 1, 2, ready, play. So as you can see, by using that trick of sliding up the neck about 3 frets, 3 or 4 frets depending, and playing the same fingering pattern and listening for the notes that don't sound quite right, I can adjust them and come up with a really cool sounding harmonized solo. Next, I'm going to demonstrate moving down the neck 3 frets and doing the same technique, and we'll discover that we can harmonize that way too. So we started here on the 5th fret, so I'm going to move down to the 2nd fret and try the same technique. 1, 2, ready, play. Now, to my ear, there was a couple notes that sounded a little bit funny. To me, This note here up on the 6th fret sounded funny, and this note here on the 6th fret also sounded funny. So I'm going to adjust each of those notes down 1 fret. I'm going to down 1/2 step, and let's try it again.
Ready, play.
So that concludes the Twinkle Twinkle Little Star demonstration, and you can see that by moving up about 3 frets, 3 or 4 frets, depending on the melody that you're playing, and listening for those notes that don't sound quite right, you can adjust those notes by 1 fret on the guitar, and you can come up with something that sounds pretty good. You can also move the same fingered pattern down 3 frets on the guitar and to apply the same technique to come up with another harmonized melody. I've got one more demonstration for you of something that sounds a little bit different. This is just a riff that I made up for this video. It's just a simple scale-based guitar riff, but we're going to apply the same technique, moving up about 3 frets and moving down about 3 frets, and listening for the notes that don't sound quite right. So here we go. We get our phone out or tape recorder, we set it down, and we hit record. 1, 2, ready, play. And you can see that it's just a very simple little melody. And we started on the 5th fret, so we're gonna move up to the 8th fret. So 6, 7, 8. And we're gonna play the same exact thing. Same finger pattern.
1, 2, ready, play.
Now to me that sounds pretty good, but we actually changed keys when we played it that way. To be in the key of C major, there's a couple notes that we're going to want to change. And those are going to be this note here, this A flat, and this B flat. So on the 10th, on the 9th, and the 11th fret, we're going to want to change those 2 notes. And this time we're going to slide up to the 10th fret and the 12th fret to be notes that are actually in the key of C major. So let's try it again, and our new pattern is going to sound like this. And when we play it with the thing, it will sound really cool.
1, 2, ready, play.
And so as you can see, with this particular melody, you had 2 possibilities to come up with a cool sounding harmonized solo. You could play exactly the same finger pattern, only up 3 frets, and it turned out to sound great. Or if you want to stay in the same key as the original melody, we can adjust a couple notes that sound just a little bit off to make it sound like you're still playing in the same key. We can also move that same fingering pattern down 3 frets. So we're going to move the same fingering pattern down to the 2nd fret, and we're going to try again.
1, 2, ready, play.
And again, that sounds okay, but with this particular melody, it sounds okay, but we've changed keys again. So we're going to want to adjust just a couple of notes down by 1 fret to make sure that the harmonized melody that we make up is in the same key as we intended it to be in. So in this case, it's going to be this note, this C sharp on the 2nd fret, and this F sharp on the 2nd fret. We're going to move both of those down to the 1st fret, and we're going to play the same thing again. So the new melody is going to be
1, 2, ready, play.
And so that concludes our demonstration today of how to write harmonized guitar solos with little or no music theory knowledge. You do a couple things. You get your guitar out, you get your tape recorder out, you play the melody that you want to play. And then here's where the magic happens. You move the same fingering pattern up the neck or down the neck about 3 frets, and then you listen for the notes that don't sound right. To fix those notes, you move each of those notes up or down 1 fret on the guitar. I hope you found this to be an interesting topic today. I hope you enjoyed my practical examples with Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and also the melody based in C major, just the scale-based melody. I hope you found it interesting. Let me know if you've done this before. Do you like this content? Would you try it? What do you think about it? Let me know. Please leave me a comment. If you enjoyed this content, please remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Thank you very much. 1, 2, ready, play.